Hey guys, how is everybody doing? I hope you guys are all having a good one. I know it's been a while since I have been here. I will tell you later on in this video where I have been and what's been going on. In the meantime, if you would like to keep up with me, regardless of if I am active on YouTube or Instagram or anywhere else, I am always active over on Patreon, patreon.com/psychicbellolove. You can join for as little as $3 a month. We have all kinds of exclusive content over there, everything about the Illuminati, what really goes down at those parties and after parties, history, religion, all types of stuff. That is also the only place that I take requests for celebrity video readings. So if you would like to join us, patreon.com/psychicbellolove, or all the information will be linked in the description box below. Also, any sales that I do will always be posted on my instagram.com/psychicbellolove. Make sure it's really me and not somebody pretending to be me. But anyways, guys, and if you wanted to book your own personal private reading, you can always go to psychicbellolove.com. Again, whether I'm active on YouTube or not, I am always in Patreon and I'm always reading for people. And until Sunday midnight, you can use code BELLA, all in caps, on my website to get 55% off any appointment, including priority same day appointments. If there are any available, choose the priority calendar. It is my birthday month, so I am giving back. So, anyways, we are looking at JLo and Ben's divorce. I was trying to sit down and do this when it was first announced, but things happened and I was unable to. But that is okay because more things have come out surrounding this divorce, including speculation that maybe it was because of her past relationships with Diddlebop and, Ben not wanting to be connected to that. Or, they've said now that supposedly recently they went to brunch with the kids and were holding hands and kissing, and people were saying maybe the divorce isn't happening anymore. And I just read something that was posted on Reddit. It was from some gossip blog or something, that they said that she's been out spending money recklessly since they announced the divorce. And people around her are concerned because she lost a lot of money during the marriage, with the documentary and stuff. And then the giant house that they bought, that they're going to have to take a loss on to get rid of. And I guess allegedly she paid off some of his taxes and gambling debts too. So they said whatever she was making in the marriage, she spent twice as much. So we'll see what Spirit and the cards have to say about all of that. You guys know I told you they wouldn't last more than 2 years in the beginning. So let's see what Spirit has to say about this. Also, guys, hopefully I don't get in trouble for talking about this, seeing as that it's my own health. Earlier this year, I had a very serious health incident, and I was officially, finally diagnosed with lupus. You guys know I've been saying that the doctor kept telling me, oh, it's like you have lupus, but you don't, because nobody would take me seriously. This was not brought on by any of the events that have happened in the past few years. I have been, since the first time I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, asking if they were sure I didn't have lupus. I've had symptoms of this since I was in high school. So anybody that is a autoimmune disease warrior knows that you have to kind of take advantage of the moments that you have some energy and feel good. And they may be fleeting, especially right now, since I finally do have a diagnosis and we're trying to figure out a treatment plan that works. And please, for the sake of not getting me in trouble and also because I don't want it, don't leave a bunch of advice and, oh, take this or do that in the comments, but also because YouTube doesn't like that shit. And I'm working with professionals and I'm a healer myself, so, we'll figure it out. But the majority of my videos from now on will be pre-recorded videos and probably not lives, because it's kind of a wake up each day and see how we feel as to whether or not, make it to a live type of a situation. And, also, I ain't even gonna lie, getting camera ready will take up all my damn energy most of these days, that by the time I'm done, I ain't gonna feel good to actually turn the camera on and sit down and record. So anyways, let's see what Spirit has to say about all of this. And, I'll be fine, guys. It's obviously been a struggle bus of a year over here. But we are finally coming around the corner of it and starting to have more good days than bad days. So there is a silver lining in the clouds there. So don't feel sorry for me. I am not a victim, and I never will be, and I never want to be. I'm a Libra. We are warriors. So also, guys, yesterday was the solar eclipse in Libra, aka the Ring of Fire. And this is about, because it brings in the polarity of both Libra and Aries energy. So it's about cutting things off and removing things that no longer work and clearing the path to move forward and charge ahead. So remember, anytime we've been doing a whole bunch of manifesting work, especially if you were really super taking part in it in, during August, the universe is going to require you to cut the dead weight in order to make room for the new stuff that they're bringing into you. So if you feel like things get chaotic for you around any eclipse, that's just the universe trying to push you to remove whatever it is that you're still holding on to. So that way the new good stuff can come in. So, and also on a very much deeper level, the reason why we are seeing all of this, stuff that's been coming out and coming to light finally, whether it is the diddle bop shenanigans or people seeing through the payola stuff with certain people and just getting fed up with, overall the bullshit and mediocrity that constantly gets pushed. We have been escalating towards an entirely different world energetically when it comes to Pluto moving into Aquarius. And that's why anytime that you see like astrologers talking about it, they will say like it's a new world or it's a whole new era, or it's going to usher in all these big changes and everything. So the last 10 years has sort of been like we've been walking through a portal from the old world into the new world. And as we've been going through that transition and kind of walking down that energetic hallway towards the future, we had to be awakened so that way we know what we're giving our energy, our attention, our time, our resources to. Whether that means, I used to be so caught up in celebrity stuff that every single time that a celebrity that I did like would drop a product, I would run to buy it, or I would run to go to all their concerts and support the heck out of them. And I was more, I ran all these fan pages, and I was way more invested in Ariana Grande's life than she was in her own. And now it's like I can't even stand celebrity culture. I'm not saying that's me. I'm saying some people we are seeing that. And the reason being is because, we see like with stan culture, like that really did take off into such an insane, crazy level that people were more invested in a celebrity's life than their own. And so the universe is trying to wake us up so we not only put the focus back on ourselves, but also so that we stop being so distracted by what's this person gonna do? And oh my God, did you see that these people broke up? And pay more attention to how the heck do we solve the problems that are going on in our own communities? How do we address inflation? How do we change the fact that we have a bunch of 85-year-old men making decisions for young people when they don't know like what young people go through? And that's the only way that we're ever going to get out of the mess that the world is in, anyways. And so, when we say there's a spiritual war going on, this is a big part of it. And then you add in all of the numerology and the astrology that also aligns with, basically Hollywood is the Tower of Babel, and it's going to crumble in front of us in real time. And so this is just really like, 2024 and Cat Williams, like, little predictions and stuff was kind of the beginning, because Spirit keeps saying, we think this year has been crazy. Next year will be even crazier. And then the year following is going to be even more insane, because next year is going to be such a huge clearing out of the entertainment industry in all levels, where so many people are going to be exposed and go down. And, even if it's just regular stuff, like the way that everybody woke up one day and said, you know what? We don't like JLo anymore. She's overrated, and started just dragging her and canceling her. Because when you think of it, before this happens, she didn't do anything differently than what she's been doing her whole entire career. Like, usually when people start getting canceled and dragged the way that she was, it's because they did something to warrant public outrage. Like, got caught saying slurs on camera, or, did some other horrible thing, got a DUI, something. Like, she didn't do anything really, except just put out another album and a documentary that nobody cared about. And so Spirit's saying there's going to be a lot of that eat the rich mentality, where people are just like, you know what? You don't deserve what you have, and I'm sick of you. Go away. And then just the rest of Twitter joins in and, drags that person down. So there's going to be so much cancel going on next year in many different ways, and going into 2026. But also 2026, Spirit saying we're going to see a huge shift, where then the military is going to kind of have a big, humongous Me Too movement and things like that. Politics will as well. And so there's going to be like so many things being shook up, so that we are so aware of what's really been hidden from us, or that we've been ignoring, or who these people really are, so that we no longer get distracted or give them our energy or believe in their bullshit. So JLo's little mini cancellation aligns with that energy too. So getting into the reading on these two, what Spirit is saying is, okay, see, I think I said before in one of my previous readings about this, about him getting back together with her was very financially based. And that's what's coming up here, like from her end, is that she was so happy, thinking this really was this like redemption era for her, personally and publicly, that she wasn't afraid to splash out money if she felt like that's the thing that's going to keep this going and keep him happy and help us blend our families together. Because she's showing up as the Queen of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups and the Six of Pentacles around her, like, oh, yeah, here, whatever you want, take it, take it, take it. And he's showing up as the King of Cups, followed by the Four of Cups and the Ace of Pence, which is, I was trapped in debt and I was looking for a solution. So she provided that solution. And then once those things were taken care of, it's like, here comes the Chariot card because he can't handle it anymore. Spirit's saying that he did think maybe she has changed. Because at first he was getting these little glimpses of, okay, well, I like the way that you are with your kids, or you do seem like you've matured a bit in this area or that area. And of course, she was making him promises that, oh no, we're going to make sure like the paparazzi's only there when it's events and blah, 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 blah. If you guys don't know, like most of these people call the paparazzi on themselves, or they purposely go to places that they know the paparazzi hang out at. The paparazzi are not hanging out on some random freaking street in the middle of freaking Los Feliz in neighborhoods where people live, just hoping to God that they're going to see you happen to be parked on the street and not behind the gates of your mansion. Getting into your car to go to Starbucks in the morning, and the paparazzi just happened to be on the street that I live on and took a bunch of pictures of me. That is not profitable for them to do. They hang out at the airport and places like Craig's where they know all the celebrities are going to be at, and any place else, it's because you called them. And that's what she was doing, and he became aware of it again, that her and her team were behind a lot of those calls, which is why Spirit's saying, we got all those grumpy face door slam videos when they were out getting Dunkin' and stuff. But he's coming up as having lied to himself and trying to convince himself that he could make this work. So both of them did have some rose-colored glasses on, as far as we were happy when we were 20 years old, or in our 20s, or however old they were the last time, and just starting to be something in Hollywood, and maybe, all these years have changed things for us and we can come back together and it'll be true love. Like, both of them at some point did think, but he didn't have 100% clear and the best intentions. They weren't 100% pure, because whether he was hoping that she would pay off his bills, or that maybe positive publicity of, oh, we want to go watch Ben's new project because we want to support him since him and JLo are back together. But he was hoping that it would financially benefit him as well. But at the same time, Spirit is saying, we all know that JLo lives and breathes off of attention. I saw a clip, because I didn't watch that documentary, but I did see a clip where Ben literally was talking like and comparing her to like an addict, and saying that for Jennifer, there's never enough love, there's never enough followers, there's never enough roses, there's never enough fans, that she's so hungry that she just always has to keep working and make sure that she's still achieving more of that. And so basically, Spirit saying that for her, the allure of everybody's going to be so invested in, the part 2 of our relationship, also was a big factor in her wanting to pursue this as well. So neither one of them came into this with 100% love intentions. It was ego and financial, problems as well. He's definitely already seeing other people, and he is the one that initiated the end of this. But I do see that there was an agreement of, I will allow for you to be the one that files if that helps you to save face, because I do get, he doesn't hate her and he doesn't wish bad against her and he doesn't want horrible things to happen to her. I do get that he feels badly because he knows that he disappointed her and that her feelings are hurt. But Spirit's saying he feels like it's more of a wounded ego for her rather than a real true heartbreak. And he feels like she doesn't know the difference between the two for herself. And that she has a lot of work that she needs to do, but he does still feel bad that he let her down. However, don't be surprised, you guys, because remember, like, right before they got together, he got outed for being, like, on Tinder and, like, Raya and all these different dating sites. And he was talking to kind of young girls. I mean, you're a man in your 50s, like, talking to women in their late 20s and early 30s. And I would not be surprised if we don't get a part two to that happening before the divorce is even finalized, where it gets leaked that he was trying to, set up some sort of date with somebody, and they decided that instead of going through on the date, it would be worth it to go put it up on social media and expose him instead. And so, I know that there was people were saying that he was seen out with somebody. I can't remember who they were trying to say that he was with. I think it was like Kit Kennedy or something. Spirit saying that no, he wasn't dating her, but he's definitely going to go out there and date. But I don't see him going out and dating with the real intention of trying to go get back into some super serious relationship. It's more so like, just a guy blowing off steam and trying to have fun and get back into the swing of things again after going through a divorce type of a situation. So it's like he's looking for a good time, not a long time, with these girls that he'll be seeing. So let's see. Spirit, does this separation and ultimate divorce have anything to do with any of the Diddy arrests and accusations? Thank you. See, the thing that Spirit's saying is that JLo has always had, a pretty good team around her that has protected her and her name and kept her from being dragged into stuff like this. And, the first time around, obviously, when the whole situation went down in the club, then obviously her team immediately was like, that's it, you're done. You're not dating him anymore. And, later on, she tried to kind of blame it on, like, oh, he was cheating on me. And he just buy me all these fancy presents and stuff, to try to make up for it. And throughout the years, she has said things about being in relationships with men who are angry or violent or cheaters. So Spirit is saying, even if she wasn't referring to him specifically, there's enough out there that, number one, I feel like her team kept her from like being implicated or in too much that people could be like, definitively, yes, she was there and she was doing this to people at one of those parties. And I also don't get that she was necessarily like going to his parties like that. Like, because we have to remember, guys, it's not the party, it's the after party. when everybody has gone home and there's 5 people left, and then they go to a different location, that's when, the real crazy stuff was happening. And Spirit saying he knew better than to try to involve her in that, because she wouldn't have gone with it and her team would not have allowed it if they found out. So I don't get that, like, really, like, if there is anything that people try to bring up, I feel like her team is going to have a whole bunch of she was a victim of him too stuff that, may not come out right, definitely, like, oh, here's a statement from JLo, but they'll do the thing, that, and if you didn't know, that people's teams do, where they go and they pretend that they're, a regular schmegular fan, and they start reposting things, on behalf of their client and bringing up old clips and being like, see, when she said this, she meant him, when you think it's just some like random girl in Ohio that just really likes Jennifer Lopez, but like, no, it's her publicist under one of their many fenstas that's, making sure that this narrative is being spread. A lot of times they try to go do that. What's funny is that they try to do that stuff on Reddit sometimes, I've noticed, and every time on Reddit, like, people clock it and then start brigading them, because that happened a lot of, like, a while back. Like, her team was going around Reddit trying to post all of these, oh my god, Lotto's gonna take over this summer with her new album thing, and like people were clocking that so hard that they were going around just like deleting accounts and posts. So I think for the most part, it tends to happen like on other platforms, just because Reddit don't let them get away with it as much. But they definitely are out there doing that kind of stuff. And so Spirit's saying, we'll see that. Megan Thee Stallion's another one that Rot Nation does that, where they have all kinds of bots and things that'll flood comments to be like, we love Megan, we can't wait for her next album to come out. So that's why when you guys say, like, oh, the noise on social media is super loud, but those sales and the numbers aren't, it's because it was bots that were in the shade room comments telling everybody they couldn't wait for the album, and not actual real people who were going to listen to it or buy it or put a butt in the seat when it came time to go on a tour. So anyways, they'll do things like that. I don't get in the cards or anything that this really had anything to do with it. Spirit is saying, I mean, this is the thing, guys. This isn't like, oh, they seem so freaking happy. And then just all of a sudden, as soon as the Diddy rumors started, like, Ben moved out, and then people were like, oh my God, what happens? That man has been miserable since before they even got married again. So we've all seen it on his face. He has been nothing but a grouch ass sourpuss around her for the last 2 years. It wasn't, some overnight switch for him. And Spirit saying he was already on his way out the door anyways. And this was already planned, because if you saw that she said the separation date was like in April, and Spirit saying, for months even before that, like, the separation and him moving out was not a surprise to either one, because Spirit saying he wasn't staying there. And when he was there, they did nothing but argue. And he kept telling her that he didn't think it was going to work. And then he would leave. So it's just, what Spirit's saying is convenient timing that this all happened around the same time. And I don't get that he even feels or is worried about Jennifer, like, going down with Diddy or having any of, problems, like, as far as like that all goes anyways. So No, and I mean, this is the thing, you guys. Everybody in Hollywood gossips. There's so much that they say, even if we don't ever hear about it. Trust and believe that Ben Affleck knows who was at the Diddle after parties. Everybody in Hollywood does. It's been rumored, they've been talking about it, all of that. It's just that us little people are waiting to find out who was on all of those tapes. So Spirit saying like he kind of knows for sure, or at least is pretty confident that there's not anything that's going to come out about her in connection to this that's going to like damage her or make him really be like, oh, thank God I escaped just in time, or that motivated that. She does need to be careful though, because it is coming up that she's spending a lot of money and not bringing as much in, and she has a bunch of projects lined up that she is expecting, like, oh, well, it's okay if I spend because I have this movie and that movie next year. And then I'm getting a big payday for, but I keep getting that maybe both, because I keep getting two big projects being dropped. And those being things that she expected were going to pan out financially for her, and I see it not working the way that she was hoping it was going to. And so because of that, it is talking about her having to completely like restructure her life. um I have to cut back. I have to start living a bit differently than I'm used to. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see, because I know right now, like they said, oh, she's, obviously they're still trying to get rid of that big mansion because there was supposed to be a buyer and then it fell through at the last minute and they'd already weren't going to make any money off of the deal anyways. Um, And they were saying that, oh, she's shopping around and that she was looking at some house that was like $30 million or something. Even if she does go buy another big house, I see her turning around and selling it pretty quick. I don't know why I keep getting her living in a condo. Trust and believe it will be a very nice condo, of course, and much bigger than like a regular person's condo. Like it'll still be like, oh, it's a condo, but it's 5,000 square feet and it's a penthouse or something. But it is still a downgrade from the life that she is used to living. But I also get that she is really going to have to tighten things up because Spirit's saying there are behind the scenes debts that she has that she doesn't even know she has that are going to come up. And that's going to take its toll on her and put her in this position where she's sort of scrambling to try to pay things off, earn enough money, and put herself back in the same financial situation that she was in previously. So she needs to wake up and kind of see things like Spirit saying, like she needs to stop just living in Delulu lands and look at things more clearly, because it's not looking too great for her. Um, I feel like some of that is probably due to the fact that, if you guys didn't know, if you cancel a tour and you do it like, it has to be like within a certain amount of time or something. And if you do it last minute, you become responsible for paying things back. Because, if you say, oh, I'm going to go like play Madison Square Garden next Wednesday, and then tomorrow night, your team calls Madison Square Garden and says JLo's not showing up anymore, they don't have enough time to book another act. And then the stadium isn't getting paid. from that. So it's a part of the contracts that they have to like basically rent the place. And then they're hoping, you know, through the ticket sales that that like makes the difference and stuff. So, and you know, yes, there are tour insurances. However, do you guys remember that when Kanye canceled a whole tour because of the breakdown, that the insurance company was trying to fight it, and he had to get like, they had to go through court and submit all kinds of like doctors and medical records. It was a mess to get the touring company or the insurance company to cover that canceled tour, because they were saying that typically it only covers physical injuries and death. And just saying that you want to cancel your tour so you can spend time with your friends and family, and then you denounce you're getting a divorce, like, doesn't, I don't know if that is covered under that. And even if it is, like, Spirit saying there's still a financial responsibility that she hasn't been made aware of yet, that she owes in connection to that. And that's really going to take her by surprise. And it's also more than we expect that it's going to be. And that's going to kind of put her in a weird situation financially. So, let me see. So what else do we need to know about these two or anything going forward with them? I want you guys to let me know in the comments, who do you think her next boyfriend's, fiance, husband, whatever, you know, is going to be? Because we know she's not going to take the time to go work on herself. So, who do you think she's going to end up with next? I mean, see, this is the thing. I think her and A-Rod were such a better couple. He just shouldn't have been texting girls on Bravo shows, because A-Rod loves the attention just as much as her. Like, he loved every time that the paparazzi was there and that they had to go to these events and dress up and smile and be in the cameras and all of that kind of stuff. Ben hated it, but it's like A-Rod like seems like he was just like more up her alley because they both love working out. You know, they both like sports. They both have the Latin connection. Although I think at this point we could all argue that Ben Affleck is more Hispanic than JLo anyways. But, you know, it's just like, they just seems like they had way more in common. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't end up with them back together, you guys. I really wouldn't. I don't think immediately, but I could see a couple years down the road them ending up back together if she doesn't find somebody else to get married to first. Ben is really ready to get back out there and start working. That's his main focus right now. Don't be surprised if we don't get rumors, not right now, but like a year or two from now, that him and Jennifer Garner are getting back together again. He's going to go right back home and try to put his family back together again, because he is going to feel like, I really fucked up and that's where I was safe and that's where I was stable and that's who loved me, and I should have just got my shit together and stayed home and never left in the first place. Let me see. Let me grab this other deck because I want to see if Jennifer Garner is willing to like get back together with him. He's definitely gonna try though. He will definitely try. We're also gonna hear that he fell off the wagon again too, though. But he gets himself back together pretty quickly this time. And I feel like that is sort of like this next rehab therapy stint, whatever, you know, after this is what sort of leads him to that space of being like, I should never have messed up my marriage with my baby mama she's always there for me, you know, and leads him to wanting to go back and fix things. I mean, listen, the fact that every time we saw him, he was grumpy McGrump pants with JLo, yet every time that we saw him around Jennifer Garner, he was smiling with all his teeth. I'm actually not surprised that Spirit said that. She slightly entertains it for a bit, but ultimately, no, she won't take him back like that because he's put her through hell. And Spirit saying deep down inside, she knows, you know, like, yeah, that would be the dream to end up with the guy that you made all your babies with. And then, you know, you get to watch your kids grow up together and grow old and be grandma and grandpa together and all that stuff. Cause she's, you know, such a traditional person in that sense that Spirit saying it would be tempting for her. However, she also, you know, it's like she can't ever forget you cheated on me and multiple times. I constantly had to be the primary parent or clean up your mess or take care of you or, you know, always walk on eggshells being scared that you're going to do something else again. And ultimately, she just feels like I can't see enough change in you. Like, I love you as a person and I care about you as my kid's dad, but like, I can't put myself emotionally in that situation again. So, no, like, she's not going to end up going back together with him. They will end up working together again, though. They are going to have like a big project together that's going to be well received. It kind of feels almost like she starts some sort of business and like he helps her with like the marketing of it or something and does like all the promo videos. But it'll be something that, you know, they enjoy working together, and Spirit saying like they'll still have like a good co-parenting and friendship type of a dynamic, but she does not, you know, she's just like, no, you're just gonna break my heart again, and it's not worth going back down that road all over again. But I'll pray for you, but I hope you get it together someday. Let's see. I feel like within 5 years he's remarried and he may even have another child. The possibility, because it's coming up about being married to somebody younger, somebody that's in their late 30s, possibly early 40s, that either doesn't have any children themselves or their kids are slightly older. And it's like, I don't feel like it's a surprise pregnancy either. I keep getting them planning this baby together. I do see him getting shit for it. Like, why would you want to go marry some younger woman and have another baby when all your kids are in college right now? But he's going to move on and rebuild another family. Let's see. JLo has, God, she has 4 more significant relationships that we will see play out publicly in her still. Because Spirit's saying she's just going to go Liz Taylor it out for the rest of her life at this point, because she's at a place where it's like, I don't like being alone. She doesn't want to really take the time by herself to work on things. She does not want to really change herself. She is too caught up in the whole, like, spirit saying she loves the chase, she loves the romanticism, she loves the proposal and the falling in love and the planning the wedding and all of that stuff. But like the day to day being a wife gets very boring for her. And if she doesn't have a bunch of things going on professionally that allow her to be on these red carpets and out there, then she turns all that attention back onto the relationship and nitpicks it, and things fall apart. So we're going to see her dating some like executive, maybe movies. It kind of feels like that. Possibly maybe a music executive. But, I see her trying to be like, well, maybe if I don't get another entertainer, but I get a business person, because she's still stuck in that, well, it didn't work out with Ben. Let me go find somebody that seems like they're the opposite of them and maybe that'll work, rather than maybe I need to examine why I keep getting in relationships with emotionally available broken men. So, but she's just going to have a string of engagements, another broken marriage, some more relationships that are very public eye. But there's about 4 of them because Spirit's saying she just gets a few years out of each one and then moves on to the next. And don't be surprised that she won't move on rather quickly from this one as well. So, anyways, guys, I am going to go ahead and end this. Thank you so much for those of you who stuck around to the end. If you would like your own personal private reading, to follow me on Instagram or join us on Patreon, all that information will be in the description box below. And I hope everybody has a good one. Bye.